Hi, my name is Les Johnson, and in spring 2014, I used Ginkgotree in my online course, LGBT 200, Introduction to LGBT Studies. I set up my course where the Explore link takes you to Ginkgotree, the content of the course. Modules in Ginkgotree have a one-to-one correspondence with modules listed in the syllabus and in my D2L Weekly Learning Modules area. Each week would have a variety of content that was not available elsewhere in the D2L course site. I felt it was important that if students were going to be paying money to access the Ginkgotree content as well as its features, like the annotation and commenting tools, it was important that the content not be available elsewhere for free on the D2L site. Plus, in my experience, students prefer content not be placed in multiple locations. It's confusing and sometimes produces anxieties for students who will check each of those locations to make sure they're not missing anything. So here, in week 1, I've posted a syllabus, a video introducing myself and the course, and a screen share tour of the D2L course site, since I set my course up a little bit differently. Overall, the content I chose for my course included web pages, video clips, textbook readings, as well as PowerPoint slides. You can see here that my students used this informal discussion area to talk about this content. Reading consisted mostly of book chapters. Sometimes it was pretty heavy on reading, but a lot of times the content was watching a full-length documentary film. I also included photographs and images, as well as some audio files. In addition to the fact that students enjoy the content of this course, I think the diversity of materials kept the students engaged throughout the semester. It was never all reading or all videos, but a variety of materials from multiple perspectives that gave students a more holistic view of what's included in the field of study. So what went well? Let's look at week 2. The objective of this week was for students to understand the importance of having a common language when engaging in LGBT studies. One of the learning activities to introduce them to this concept was for them to find a news article related to the content of the course. The point being that they can't do an internet search for anything LGBT or T related without first knowing what those letters mean. I created a web page with links to various news sites. Students were to visit various news outlets and then on the D2L discussion forum post a link to the article they found and talk about it. As students did this, I created an archive in Ginkgotree of their findings. As more students posted articles, this page in Ginkgotree grew. What was great is that the students, after finding their own article, they would also read the articles supplied by their classmates. With Ginkgotree, they had them all right here at their fingertips. The discussion forum exploded with activity as students continued to read and talk about more and more articles, each time, of course, using the language of LGBT studies. So in the future, I would use the annotation tools a lot more. Some of the course content is contentious and misunderstood if not read carefully. In this reading, in week 11 for example, in this one particular paragraph, there are statements like, an independent woman can't be a woman, and a lesbian is not considered a real woman. Students really hone in on those and then take them out of context and get really offended. So here's what I would do. I would use the annotation and commenting tools. I would probably use an area comment, highlight this entire thing, and put something like this. In addition, I would pay more attention to accessibility. Every student should be provided with videos that are captioned in text that is recognizable by screen readers. Besides being the law, more annotation tools become available when the content is accessible. I'll show you what I mean. Here in the scan of this book chapter, I'd like to use the highlight tool. Guess what? Can't be done. But when it's accessible, for example in this version of the same book chapter, as you can see, you can make highlights. Overall, Ginkgotree replacing my D2L content area gave it a really cool facelift, which my students appreciated. Ginkgotree also allowed me to take advantage of the extra tools not available in D2L, and it really pushed me to start thinking about uploading an array of content in different formats in an effort to improve student engagement and learning.